thing. The same thing is true as crowd control. You have a bunch of people. Henry, I'm going to try to stand your right there. You have a bunch of people coming, rushing over. What you don't want with that person is a bunch of people coming and say, "Oh, what happened? Are you all right? Is everything okay?" You don't want that. So we also have some crowd control to do. 911. I will assign one person to call 911. You may have a bunch of people that we don't know on the outside calling up 911 saying, "Hey, there's an accident here." But for anybody that's with me, I will assign one person. And before he calls 911, we're going to know certain things. The first thing we're going to know is exactly where we are. I don't always know that. If you do, volunteer. If you know exactly where we are, because, especially some of your outlying areas, I'm not too familiar with. But even sometimes in the city, I don't. But it doesn't matter if I do or not, because I'm going to ask somebody to do that. I'm going to ask a person to do that. I don't want 5 or 6 of us calling 911, especially when there might be other people. Then what we're going to know exactly where we are. We're going to make an assessment of the patient. We're going to know if he's conscious. We're going to know if he's breathing. We're going to know if he's bleeding. And that's the information we want to give to the 911 operator. That's the stuff they have to know. This person out here is, and that's what they're going to ask the person out here making the call. Well, what's wrong with the patient? Well, they don't know. At that particular point, hopefully, even I'll be able to come by and see, to kind of make that assessment. Obviously, if he's talking to you, he's conscious. If he's talking to you, he's breathing. So the next thing we really want to look for is some kind of bleeding, and try to control the bleeding. We're not going to do much more than that. Now, I do care for all of you that have been riding with me and have seen this little pouch. This is my first aid kit. It's just a general first aid kit. It's not. I don't have anything there that's going to help. Although there is padding in there, there's stuff in there that we can put on and help control some kind of bleeding. Oddly enough, though, one of the other things that I carry in my first aid kit is a wash rag, toilet paper. You'd be surprised how many places you go and their restrooms don't have some kind of hand wash, and I think I've got to, I do have to replace this, hand sanitizer. And I also have some kind of lotion. So that's all in my first aid kit. Anything is sent up. In the city, I really don't have to carry all this stuff. If something really goes bad with your bike, you can always, in the city you can get on septic. We probably wouldn't use half the stuff. In the city, if there's an accident or something, probably wouldn't even need the first aid kit, because we're not going to be too, if we have to call an ambulance and it's fairly bad, we're not going to do all that much. And, well, maybe for some scrapes and bruises and stuff like that. But like I said, I like to throw it back to being prepared as a Boy Scout. But this comes from seeing all sorts of different stuff, and being prepared and kind of being able about it. Cold weather, where am I coming up to? Oh, sorry guys.
It's all good.
Oh, okay. Okay, like I said, I came across all sorts of, so I'll brush it. It's wintertime, hypothermia and hyperthermia. Hypothermia is when your core body temperature drops kind of real fast, and you can go into a coma, and it's kind of life-threatening. The other one, especially we talk about this in the summertime, is hyperthermia, is when your temperature gets too hot. This is why we say we always drink water, a lot of water in the summertime. I kind of want to point this out. It's also very important to drink water when we're out there riding our bikes. In the winter, especially in the wintertime when we put more clothes on, when we're riding, we're going to sweat. So, this is very important. And don't get confused. Don't confuse yourself with hypo and hyperthermia, because most of the signs that you're looking for are the same thing. The same thing. Now, do we really have to worry about some of the bike rides we take? Not necessarily. I'm not even worried about that much of it when we go to Valley Forge. But it is something kind of look for. And kind of the first signs to look for is if a person is getting confused, is not thinking right, wants to do things that are out of the norm, and you kind of know he's a little, this shouldn't be. So the other thing, did I mention this before? Eating. We also want to eat. That's why the Valley Forge ride is kind of like a picnic.